So the main major reason why I love to use TradingView um over our template is simple because if you look at our template, when you're looking at it, it's okay, it's good, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit overcrowded. So sometimes it becomes hard to see some of the candles that I'll be looking for, unless maybe if you change the background to white, maybe that might be a little bit better. But I still love to see ADR high, ADR low, so I do check the reference for that, and also the ADR value. I want to see that as well. And yeah, I still come back to it and have a look and see um, what's going on with it, which is very important still. So that's why I always have it open. But this side, I love the fact that I can rewind and back test. I can clearly see the candles. I can see my targets and everything. It becomes a little bit easier. So I'm not saying that abandon the template. Nope. You still need to use it because it's got some tools that this doesn't have. Because I've been looking for the indicators similar to those, but I can't find them. So that's the reason why we still need the other one. Um, but yeah, that's the whole point. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna quickly do a recap on last week's trades, what we're anticipating and how they unfolded and what you could have done better. So I think I will erase this week's candle. For those who were here last week, you would have heard me um tell you about ODJPY and ODCAD in particular. We did speak of a lot of pairs. Some did move the way we wanted, some moved on Monday, etc. A lot of things happened in the market, but we emphasized mostly on ODJPY and ODCAD. The whole main reason why we had our focus on these pairs was simple because if you look at, for example, ODJPY, looking at the higher time frame, we can tell how price has been on a sell and pushing down. So as far as we can see, price has been going down, but also looking at it from this angle, we can see how price has been on an uptrend. So we then said, looking at this, you would then see that number one, price hit a high here, which was broken in this area, and then price hit a low there, which in this case, we have actually matched. You can see how price has actually equaled this low, like right at the dot. So that on its own should tell you that it's an area where price might want to break this low. When it gets there, you can see how it has meshed those lows. It just teased people and then went back into the range. And I've always said that when it goes back into the range, it goes to these areas where it has resisted before, and you can see the area where it has resisted before is this one right here. And I said, this is what you are looking at on the higher time frames. On the higher time frames, you're actually looking at number one, the market structure, how the market is moving. Number two, what price is doing based on the market structure. And also number three, you are looking at key areas. So you can see wherever, whatever this is happening, you are actually sitting at 94,000 and 96,000 there. though this might not be too much of significance, but price will always react in whole number areas. That's 86,000 there. So there's always a reason why price does whatever it does in that particular area. But this does not mean it's a setup because we're at 96,000. No, but it's happening there for a reason. So it's a major key price level. Now price has reacted in that low and went back. And then if we look at the current price, you can see already how the market has pushed down, came right back after pushing aggressively down. It came back slowly back into that area, and now it's preparing to push down. And we even said, though this might not look like CRT or whatever, um, it's a perfect setup in this instance. I don't know if the monthly shows anything. The monthly doesn't. The only thing that the monthly shows is that we did move bearish here, and then this new month started with us pushing higher to clear stop losses, clear anyone who had already gotten in, and now we were pushing back down. And remember, today the date is it a new month already? Oh, it's 1 June. Yeah, it's 1 June here. But I don't believe it's 1 June over there. But yeah, so the new candle is gonna open here. So what should then happen? The new candle will, because this did not close as bearish, so we know the new candle will open as bullish and then go bearish. So that's what we expect to see. So now looking at this, then we want to see what could have happened this last week. So this is what you see on the weekly time frame, and that's all that price tells you. You go down to the daily time frame. This is what the daily time frame tells you. Now, the daily time frame doesn't have so much information, except that yes, we can see that we traded slowly going back into that area. And so we would like to just find a setup over there. So I went straight to H4. And then I said, right, now that we are in H4, I will just delete this for a second. So now that we are in H4, what are we looking for? I said, number one, the area where we might pull back to is the one over here. We might pull back to that before we sell, right? We might pull back to that area before we sell. Why? Because anywhere else here, there is nowhere where I'm really seeing price push back to, because this is all but a consolidation. This was all but a consolidation. This area right here, and then price just went down. But then I said, for us to be clear whether price will reach there or price will turn around here, we need to count our levels. So we then go to H1 and said, okay, on H1, we need to count our levels and see where we are. Now, in counting our levels, you would see that number one, we have our first level push down. We have our second level push down. And we said this is all a consolidation. And so that means this will be our third level push down. And we said that this right here, price came down and price went back and closed in the second level. Same thing happened the other day as well. Price went down, price went back, closed back where the level 2 closed. And we said this area right here is is more or less the same level with the low. So I said I love to then make this my reference low. Every time when I see price that oh yeah, it kept on going until it got to this point, then it started rejecting, going back up. So I said this level and that low there, they are still the same area. Even if I put it here, it's still the same areas, just maybe a couple of pips, 5, 10 pips. So that means this then becomes our level 3 right from here going down. So that's why we expected W. So what we wanted to see was if the market opens up, we want to see the market trade back up all the way up to there. Now, then how do we enter this? We said we have got 3 ways to enter. I don't know if you watched last week's video. I'm sorry to be repeating the same thing. Number 1, we can have an area of reference where we want to enter, right? So number 1, we can enter when price gets there, put in our entry and go down, or we can wait for price to form an M in that area, then we go down. Or number 3, we can wait for price to do something like this, then we enter. So that means our entry in this case is here. For this one, it's here. For this one, it's here. And we said these are not perfect because sometimes your M may be like this, sometimes it might be V, it can be anything. So they are not perfect. And the more they become imperfect, the more you realize that even your target becomes a little bit smaller. The risk entry will be higher. This will be medium, and you'll find this will be smaller. The target, the TP, where you are going to. So we said these are what you are looking for. Now, price will then push up to there. So we want to see if that exactly happens or what type of entry we get. So number 1, we said the aggressive one is one that we would go for if we really want to see, all right, a higher target. So that means if we do enter here, our target is the low right there. So that means that'll be like 1:3. So the week started and we started pushing up. And we went up. Then we started reacting in that area. All right. Okay. Right. So this has been triggered. And someone did mention, okay, I'll move this on the side just a second. Someone did mention that, oh, our setup has happened. I remember that. Someone did mention it has happened in the group, and I don't know whether we paid attention to that. So we can tell with the movement how price has been pushing. Of course, this is not a very clean structure how price was moving towards that area. Sometimes it does become clear, which is good, but this one was not. And we want to play this forward and see if it did what so to see what kind of entry we could have gotten instead. Sorry. So this is what we have. We've got the first leg already. So if you had entered aggressively, that means you would have been in the trade already, all right, on a slight loss. Now, if you were going to enter on the second leg, that means this was the time for you to get on the second leg, okay? Immediately when price gets into that area, or maybe you're gonna enter when price gets close to there or on the neckline, whichever that is. All right. And then price goes down. So that means the only entry we are left with is number 3, the one where we have to break the neckline and come back into the neckline. So this is not breaking the neckline. This is not, because you can see your neckline is right here. I'm sure we are listening, right? I'm sure we are listening. And if you get confused, please do ask a question. So now, because this is the neckline, we would expect, where would we expect our price to go to if we were to want to see the other type of entry? Areas where price reacted. Number 1, we've got this one, all right? Last high there. That's where price could go to. Number 2, we've got that area there. That's where price would go to. Number 3, obviously at the top there. Anyway, at the top there, that's where price will go to. Now, before we go any further, that I explained something, and I would love to explain this again. This applies both in levels and also in entry. All right. Number 1, if price is at level 3 and it pushes into level 1, and then it pushes into level 2, and then it comes back into level 1, where do you think price will go? Price will push back into level 2 and stop there before it goes into level 3. So when you are counting your levels and you see that I saw level 1 push and I saw level 2 push and price went back into level 1, just know that level 2 will come and price will stop there. It will not go right up there and form level 3. It will not do that. Well, I don't want to put a disclaimer, but let me say 99% of the time, price will stop right there at level 2, and then you will see level 3 appear. That happens most of the time. You will see level 3 appear. So if you're expecting that, oh yeah, I wanna I'm seeing this is level 1, this is level 2, so price will just push straight into 3. It will not do that. To push back to 2 and then go to 3. Now, about this entry, so if price forms an M formation and then goes like this, price will go back to the top and then go down. All right. That's the most likely thing that price will do. Okay. 95% of the time. All right. Now, if price forms an M formation, all right, and then price does this, or maybe it matches the neckline or it doesn't matter, but price does this and then price does that. So do you see how price went up, came back down close to the low or at the low, whatever it is, and then went back and then broke the next time? So price, instead of going all the way up there, right, it will most likely turn around here, because this is the high that broke this low. All right. So it simply means this move attempted to break the low but could not. But this move is the one that ended up breaking the low. So price is likely to go there and down instead of going all the way back up like the previous one. All right. So in this case, what we would expect is for price to go back there and then go down. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Price did not go there. I think, yeah, because I saw it and I saw it a little bit late and I said, maybe I'm gonna take a sell there, but it never happened. But then the um I was actually on AutoArt, so that's why I didn't really worry that much. So I had to let this one go. So if you look at it, it never went back to that area. So I'll go back to H1 and then, oh, sorry about that. And then we look at our trade. So this is our trade. We're already in profit now. And you can see how steady this has been moving. All right. Well, if your target was here, sorry, I didn't see that we had a low here. Yeah, if your target was here, then you could have had your pay hit your TP. I didn't see this low. I don't know why. But if your target was there, obviously you would have to wait until next week, I think. Yes. But you can see how that unfolded, guys. And all this entire week, I've been waiting on these two pairs, or the JPY or the CAD. That's all. I haven't been looking on anything else because I'm saying to myself, I want to minimize confusion. So I want to be able to only look at just one or two pairs, at least. If I can find a setup on one of them, that's enough. Now, if you want to count your levels on the 4 hour or whatever, you can do that. But it's good counting them on the 1 hour. At least you can tell that a cycle has been complete. And all this is an attempt to form a reset so we can go down. Hence, if you look at it from the weekly time frame, you can then tell that price went up, cleared the board, and then started pushing back down. So there's pressure to sell, hence price did that. Now I'm gonna go to AutoCAD. So now that you know what we're talking about on AutoCAD, I'm just gonna be running fast. All right. So again, same thing, but in this one, price has been going down. And I know AutoCAD loves to follow AutoUSD a lot, but follow, I mean, if AutoUSD is selling, AutoCAD will definitely sell. Now, that was another reason that made me see that USD pairs might be selling this week because I saw this setup on AutoCAD and I was like, yeah, most definitely. USD pairs are going to be selling. But the area where price was reacting to was high up there. That's where price was reacting to, and it's already gotten to that area, and we're expecting it to what? To go back down. Again, major key levels 90,000, you can see, but this one didn't match any low. I think, yeah, this one didn't match any low. In fact, it broke lows on its way. No, yeah, kind of did break lows on its way down, but I don't like this price action here because this candle did not open where that one closed. But anyways, so here we are. And I expected price was going to push down after slowly pulling back up to that area right there. Same thing, go to the D1. This one is pretty clear. You can see that if you go to the 4 hour, there should be an M formation there and standard, no confusion on that. You go to the 4 hour, you can see your beautiful M formation there, and you can see how price is already doing. And this one, it didn't have the levels like the other pair, but you could tell that we were expecting price to come back up in these areas, and obviously the first one being here and secondly being that area right there. So you're expecting your price maybe to come back here or there, or where it is now, pretty much, yes. So going into H1, that is all that you have right there. Like I said, not a clear one when it comes to levels, but if you are really keen on counting them, you could say this is your first level push, second level push. Yeah, I think this is a perfect example of what I wanted to show you guys, that this was your first push. This was your second push. All right. Now, after that, price goes back to that range, and then price decides to come back down. But it comes back down where? All the way up to the low. That is where price closed, all the way up to the low, to show you that price will not shoot all the way down to level 3, but it will stop at some point and form a what? And form level 2 before it will proceed to level 3. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. So this really did happen here, which is good. So that means, again, expecting a reset on this one, and price did get to that level up there, but you can tell how it pretty much was sitting in this first level here. Now this one, I think, consolidated for quite a while. It did sell here, came back, I think. Did this one come back? Oh, no. So this one did not consolidate. I think AutoJPY is the one that consolidated. So this one I think was good. AutoJPY is the one that consolidated for a long time here. But this one, what it did was it came right up there, formed an M. So if you had an entry here or there, either way, you were going to be triggered and have your low as a take profit. But for me, I didn't put any take profit yet. I'm just gonna close when it comes to Monday, because I know Monday will push down a little bit. Now, entries on this one, if you come to the 15 minutes, so this one is kind of right. So aggressive entry right there, M formation, very nice. They attempted to push back there, but they never did. You can see how you've got that there and that. So we would have loved to see them come where this candle is right there, to push back right there and then go down. But if you would have been waiting for that, that never happened. But nonetheless, this was a good it was a good trade. So as you can see on the 4-hour, how it has been falling down, nice bearish candles all the way. That was good. So yeah, actually, yes, I think that is what I was waiting for. Actually, it did pull back for a re-entry. It did pull back for a re-entry and then went further down. Yeah, should have gone further down. So that's the one that consolidated, the one I was looking for. Yeah, so it consolidated in this area after that, and then from there it pushed down. Yes, yeah, that's the one that consolidated. So you can see the move all the way through. And what I like about this one is that if you go to well, the 4-hour time frame, this is what you can see. If you go to the weekly time frame, this is what you can see. So this one, it's already a bearish candle. How nice that is. And that means if I'm gonna exit this week, it's just for a small push all the way down, maybe up to the low of that week there, and then I'm out, and that's it, and wait for the pullback in. So that means maybe I'm expecting price to come to these lows right here. So yeah, this one is a really good one. But you can see how, guys, we get setups that stay for long. So that means this automatically becomes one of my pairs to look out for next week. So I won't have to worry looking at other pairs. Now, another pair that you can look out for this coming week is AutoArt. So I don't want to say anything. I want you guys to tell me what's going on. If you want to do this all the way from the monthly time frame, that's up to you. But I want you guys to tell me what's going on. Tell me what you see. We've got AutoArt, I think Euro NZD maybe. But anyway, let's start with AutoArt. So who wants to um give us what's going on here on AutoArt? And again, you can, after the AutoArt, we can then do any other pair that anyone wants us to do. All right. So who
Uh,
wants? Yep.
Good evening, Coach.
Hmm.
So, boss of all bosses, can you help me take it to weekly? And maybe immediately after this, I will please request you should help me to look at USD.
Okay.
So, looking at this Euro hold, we can see that the market is on a bullish trend. Looking from the W pattern, they gave us level one, then they are on level two on weekly, coming to reset for three. And if you look at that region, we can see a chaotic. Please, can you help me to bolding the candle because I'm using my tab. I move from my laptop to the tab so I couldn't see it. Thank you so much. So now I can see there is a CRT there, but that CRT, I could remember when you discussed with us that we could take it and we could not take it because it closes with a tiny pin bar. There is one that we had before. We had one, a perfect one before, but they decided to go lower to still clear the level or the low of that one, meaning that we are going to be marking these two together, this height and this low. So that's where we are going to mark the 50%, which I believe that they have already gotten to the 50%. I don't. So, and because it closes on bullish trend, I believe it's still going to buy. I believe it's still going to buy. But if you want us, if people, everybody agree that we should do the analysis based on the way you used to give us a rewind, that means we are going to delete this particular candle to see the reason why everything push up, the setup where we should have made an entry last week. So, okay, so can we just go to for daily now right now, daily time frame. On daily time frame, one thing I observe so much and I've understood about CRT is that whenever you see a CRT model on weekly, when you go to daily, you will definitely see it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong for that. If you look at this candle here right now, we can see that the bullish candle beside it, it has a very low pin bar that is lower than the previous one. So, and we can also go to different to different places to go and see CRT. When you see it on weekly, you will definitely see it on daily, also being repeated. So now from here, we can see that the market is coming down, but on weekly, we know that we are on a bullish direction, which they have come to this region. They have come to this region to test on it, to push upward. So on daily, we don't have good more information there to talk about. So let's go straight to 4 hours. So on 4 hours, we can see clearly that 4 hours show us a very nice push down, which we can see. Then this, and I can see that they have dropped 3 levels, and these 3 levels that they have dropped down. So they have given us the first leg here, meaning that maybe they are going to be coming back here to give us a good entry, which is I'm looking for a buy for this week. So I'll be looking for my entry around here. So let's go straight to 1 hour to see what's played out on 1 hour. So, coach, can you help me to mark that place first, where I marked with a square, with a box? So that place, yeah, that will be my first place to be looking for anything, if at all. So let's see 1 hour to confirm, because 4 hours has already shown us that they are moving upward, but we need to first of all count. Now on this 1 hour, I can see clearly that the market has given me a sorry,
Sorry.
the market has given me level one, which it closes here. Then it gave me level two, which they came back here. So the level two ended, yes, the level two ended here. Yes. So this is what I see as level two. He pushed, he came back, then he pushed, he came back, then he pushed to this level. So I would like to pick this region. So which they range, then they give us this level three, but it's not that a very clear perfect one. Though if I'm gonna mark it, I'm still gonna mark it this way. So that is what, so which I'm gonna be seeing a reset, that they want to throw us a reset. So the reset is what I'm looking for. So now, if I'm going to be trading this particular market
Mm,
for 1 hour, this is where I'll be looking for re-entry.
mm.
That's where. So can you help me to mark the box? You are already shifted the 4 hours. So so so
No
it might
worries.
either come to that 4 hours or 1 hour. So can we just? So that is what I see.
All
So
right.
that's how I do my own. So we'll now see if truly we are ready to move. And because we can see that the break structure here,
Mm-hmm.
so in as much the break structure here, I will still believe that they will either come to this place or this place, which we have marked on 4 hours on 1 hour. So that's where I'll be looking for my entry. So to look for W and move upward. So that is my own analysis. So over to coach to play for us to see if it is what we think or not.
All right. Okay, let's play it and see whether this is exactly what happened. So here we go. Hopefully you're right. All right. Oh, looks like they don't want anything to do with you.
They
That,
don't,
but that
they are,
was very
yeah,
close.
this
Oh,
is a very
there we go.
Kamboso movement. They don't want to come.
That was very
So they
close.
printed the W here. So this is the W that I'm expecting
Yeah,
that they gave to me
that
here.
was very close. I think because you were expecting them to come here and then you see this, right? Maybe you
Yes.
might be lured
Change my time
into
because
believing that maybe you might want to have your setup right there. Now, let's,
mm,
if something like that does happen, all right, let's go and have a look at other time frames. I can see you marked your H1 there. So let's just type this as H1 and then that is H4.
H4.
All right. Now let's see. What if D1 gave us an area of entry? All right. So you can see when you come to D1, that D1 did give you this candle right here. though big, very big. But if you go back to H1, you can see that. You see it?
Okay.
Yeah. So D1 did give you an area where price was going to react to. So
But
now
the stop
this,
loss was too much, sir.
yeah, that's what I
If
mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. That D1 did give you, but then it's too big and you can't put a buy there and then put your stop loss all the way up there. We don't have that kind of money. So you are definitely going to let this one go its way. Um, if especially that it did not come to the area where you were expecting it to come to. And that's very good, letting it go. So this pair we once traded it on these three candles when this CRT formed. And I on one of our videos I was explaining how we got about this setup, and we did trade the setup all the way up to there, and then from there we moved on onto something else. And I've long been waiting for it to come to this area. And I've been long waiting for it. And it did come there, tapped this area, and then started going up. This was a very good setup and also good pickup of the uh, evening star CRT model there. That's a good pickup right there. Now, that means the following week, it our work becomes a lot easier because all we're expecting now is to see price push all the way up. That's all that we're expecting to see. We want to see price push all the way up. So that's how um simple it becomes, guys. You're only waiting for price to push all the way up. Now, if you want to enter the following week, the areas where you might capitalize. I love working with 4 hour, to be honest. I feel like it's a bit easier for me to look at the 4 hour. 1 hour, yes, count levels, then go to the 4 hour. At least that way I can have a longer running trade and shorter time of checking it. But we would love to see them do a continuation. I don't think they will come all the way back to the low here. I don't know, but I think they'll just continue straight away trade and go up. And again, Euro AUD gets influenced a lot by AUD USD and Euro USD. So we'll see what happens next week. All right. So you talked about GBP USD. And we want to see what's going to happen next week. All right.
yes, I dropped something on Discord,
Mm-hmm.
which I counted the levels from that region to the top, which I see three levels
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm expecting the market to reset. But before that reset, they dropped this market for 3 days, which I don't see a clear movement. I didn't see a clear movement that I can say level one, level two, level three. So I'm still expecting like they still want to drop level three.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
to
yeah,
me,
yeah,
that the market came to reset here. But at the same time, I see this movement as 1.5 movement, this
yes,
particular
yes,
whole
yes,
movement
yes,
as
yes.
1.5. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
expecting this to happen to go, then later move
Also,
or so I'm just confused because I'm on this particular trade and I place my entry here. I think this is where I made my entry is 0. So I make my entry here to buy because of this
mm-hmm.
level that okay, I think it should move from this level based on this particular movement. So since I didn't pick it from here, I was carried away. So I just have to enter here. So, but the way I'm looking at the market, it seems that the market still want to come down. So I need more knowledge to validate mine. So that's why I'm
All
asking
right,
for.
all right. Number one, um, I would say this: if they break lower than this, right? If they break lower than this, then you close, number one. Number two, let's look at DXY and see what DXY is up to. So this is DXY. Yeah, that was very good. So this is DXY, and what DXY does is move in opposite direction with Euro USDs, Pound USD, etc. So it's a future asset, and you can analyze it to show you how USD CHF will go, because it will go in the same direction with USD CHF, USD JPY. You can tell how USD JPY chart is similar to USD CHF. And by the way, I was waiting for a setup right here. Oh, this actually came out good. This came out good. That came out good too. How did I miss this? I don't know. But yeah, this is how it turned up, and this is these are three levels all the way down, and that could be a reset. If we go to 4 hour, 4 hour is not really clear. D1. So there is a high possibility that we are pushing for the low right here.
Like going for the last leg.
Yeah, for the last leg, then we can push up. So if they are definitely resetting, sorry, if they are definitely forming that, then it means H1 is resetting. So if H1 is resetting, then we can count this as our level one drop already, most likely. And then that would mean we'll expect our second level and third level going down until we get to that low there, which kind of does make sense. Why would go like that? Yeah, like this, which then makes it 2 4 hour levels. So it does make sense. So in that regard, it means that's the reason why I was expecting a sell on USD JPY, and the sell did come. And so that means we would love to see them push down. So if this be the case, then it means that's how easy it is trading USD pairs. It means USD CHF should show us the exact same thing, go down. It means USD CAD should show us the exact same thing. You can see how nice this reset is. I don't know how we missed this on Friday on USD CAD, but this is one of the cleanest resets you will ever see. All right. So USD CAD has done that. So it means NZD USD should show us a buy trade. GU should show us a buy trade. EU should also show us a buy trade. So that means these guys are supposed to be pushing
Okay,
up.
coach, please.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go to 15 minutes on that GBP USD, sir?
All right, GBP
I
USD.
wish my citizen next week. So now on this 15 minutes, we
Mm,
can see clearly that they gave us a nice three push downward.
mm-hmm.
And looking at this side, I let me mark that region that is it did can we say that they break a structure here?
Mm-hmm.
Or would this be the structure? Is it these two or this particular one here? Because I can see that they have broken structure there. And that was more reason why I was expecting a pullback here. They should give me a W. This is here. This is the second leg. So that was the reason why I wanted to pick my buy at this year, at this second leg here, but I wasn't there. So I picked the buy here. That was the reason why I picked the buy here.
Mm.
So now they are throwing it back. So that was the reason why, because they have already completed one, two, three, and they broke the structure here, this particular place.
Yes,
So that
yes.
was so that was the reason why I said I'm expecting a pullback. They gave me nice W here, which I didn't pick my second leg, so I now pick buy here. And later they came back here to come and give us. So I'm expecting it to go up next week.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe if I'm wrong, or they might come back to this place and push.
So
So
I all right. If I go to first to H1, right? So from H1, we haven't broken anything, right? And price
mm,
is still there. But like I said, I've marked that area there as potentially where price might get into, right? If you look at 15 minutes,
yes,
as you're saying, price did come down, price meshed the high, price broke the low, price went back up, and then price came down. So they broke that high there, all right, in the last low. So low there and the last low there. So because they broke their high and closed higher than that, so that means they now need to come back into the range. So the likelihood place where price would then react to in this instance is right here. Okay? According to
okay,
1 hour. According to 1 hour. If you were going to rely on 15 minutes, then most definitely your area was going to be this. So you're not wrong by entering, but based on 15 minutes, yes, this could have been the area. But now remember, because it was Friday, there was no way they were gonna close you on in profits, sitting back at that high there. So they would definitely be attracted to that 1 hour area
to
there.
trap me back.
Yeah, they would definitely push to the 1 hour area there, which is not so much pips to that low. That's why I'm saying your stop loss in this case should be sitting anywhere below that area. Because we
Okay, like
do,
10 people low.
yeah, we do expect them to push into there and then get into here, react a little bit, get you a bit scared, and then do that. So we do
Yeah,
expect them to follow that map, push down, push up to there, push there, and then push back up. All right. That's what we expect. So
yeah, I'm
that's what will
expecting by
happen. All right. Yeah. So keep
unless they
an
break the structure down.
yeah,
That's when we'll think of
keep an eye out on that one. All right.
thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for
Um,
exposing me.
so what other pair can we look at, guys? Someone else to choose a pair instead? Is there someone else who would wanna
Coach, how are you?
Ah,
It's been
very good, my man. How are you?
exams were killing me, but I'm back now.
That's good. That's good.
School was all over me. I would be interested to look at. Did you look already at God?
No, 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 no.
So
I'm
maybe
surprised
let's.
this man didn't choose gold anyways, but yeah.
So yeah. So maybe let me
What's of all
let.
bosses?
I'm really
You
surprised.
are silently throwing stone at me. Oh.
I I I'm I saw something on God. So yeah. So maybe perhaps we can start at H4, our usual time frame for direction.
Which time frame? W?
And I will let's look at W. I
Okay.
normally do H4, but let's
Okay,
look at
okay, okay.
W.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Let me
it's all
see
right.
what let me see what I can get there. So yeah, maybe you can zoom, make them small a little bit. I want to see maybe a bigger picture
Oh,
of
a bigger picture. Okay.
of the chart. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's okay. It's perfect.
Mm.
Yeah, even better. Thank you. Yeah. So from this one, maybe I will explain. I will not mark today. I'm on my web, not
That's all
on
right.
the application. So I'm from the 200 Emma, that tape on the 200, that's a reset going up. So we can count first level towards where there's 1W there. Then we can count second level that is above the 1W. Then this one, it means we are on level 3. Yes, I like that. So which means we are on level 3. We are anticipating a peak. So there's something that I came across last week when I was looking. Maybe I can just share it as well. Just because you're on level 3 does not mean the market is reversing. There has to be some drop off. Maybe if you're anticipating say a sell, you have to see a bearish presence. That the word that was used there is bearish presence. So you might be on level 3, but you're still seeing strong bullish presence. That's a sign that the market is not yet ripe for you to enter a sell. But when you begin to see now bearish presence, something like those weeks that we are seeing at the top there, we are seeing those weeks that we are seeing those small candles, then that can begin to show us that there's a possibility now that bearish presence is now coming in. So on this one, I can say we are on level 3. That's where we are now in the possibly first leg. So we are on level 3 first leg. So now, if you are on level 3 first leg on D1 or on W1, it might be possibly a peak on D1. So that's what now I want to confirm now, if it's going to be a peak on D1, if we can maybe go. But don't forget that on W, we are on first leg. We are on first level. We are on possibly first leg of the peak formation. So, coach, if we may go to D1, to D now. So now, yeah, now on D now, if we can look at D, we are now starting from where we are having the 50 EMA. The reset was not on the 200 now on this one. The last, which is the last, which is the third level of the W. We want to count 3 levels that we are seeing there. We have the first level towards the D. Then we have another level above the 1D there. Then with that pullback and that strong momentum push to the upside to make those 3 levels on D1. So on D1 again, we are on a peak, and on the same, the peak is hitting the there's a drop of the peak now, or the peak on this D1 is I can say it's a little, it's, I can't say it's locked per se, but it has shown that it wants to go down because the first leg and the second leg is hitting the 50 EMA, which was also the position for the reset. So we are anticipating, if on that other reset it was on 50 EMA, so there's a strong chance that this one also can hold, because it has already hold before on the reset going up. So that's another indication that the market might be planning to reverse now. So on this one, we are still on peak. Yeah, we are still on peak on D1. Normally, what we want to see, we want to see the second leg being higher than the first leg. That indicates a trap, to show that the market tried to trap all the maybe possible sellers that is ended on the first leg. But nevertheless, this can be another peak, with the second leg being smaller. But now the drop of the second leg, if you noticed, it is now on 50 EMA, which is perhaps giving us an indication that the market really wants to push. But we really wanted to see the second leg going up. but there's a possibility that it may not go there, because since we are already seeing two clear legs of an M there. So I'm still holding that the market is to break that, push down, break that touch on the 50M, then we can now conclude on a sell. So coach, if you can move to H4, but we are still on the peak formation of D1. We are not yet out of the woods yet, but there's a bearish momentum there that is now beginning to show.
H1.
No, let's go to H4. Let's go
okay.
to H4. Want to try to see that peak very clearly. So now, if you now look at this from the H4, you can see that there was a reset on the third leg of D1. You can see a clear reset on 50 EMA there. 3 pushes that are so beautiful to the upside. Then the market calmed down. The last push of the H4 was broken when the market was attempting to push below the 50 EMA, and it went down just above the 200 EMA. That was an indication that there's now bullish presence, and the market rallied up and it could not break that last high, which also showed in this peak there is now strong bearish momentum. So the market then pushed and broke the last high. That is the one that is also broken the 200 EMA, and went up the market and it did not break the last high, and the market is now on 50 EMA, sitting on 50 EMA. Now, under these circumstances, we now have some clear picture that the market is now on a selling momentum. But I would also want to believe we still have to keep that in mind, that on W1 we are on first leg, not on second leg. So I would still say this one is now, the market is now on a bearish trend, and we are seeing that. Yeah, coach, where you are there, if you can mark that area, yes, and less, thank you, like that. So the market did not break that to indicate that there's too strong a bullish pressure going up. So I'm buying that the market is going down. Now, if you count those smaller levels now, if you count those, from where you are, coach, there's one push up, which is, I want to believe that will be H1. There's this, no.
Oh, going that way.
Yes, from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Want to count that going up. So we have that first push, we have the second push, then we have the third one that hit that one. But I'm interested on the drop now back to the 200 M. It broke the last push that is sitting on the 13 M. Yeah, that one, to going down. So this one is indicating to us that the market is on a sell. So we have established that the market is selling. We have established that the market is selling. We are now just trying to look for a possible, perhaps a better end. If you can go now to H1, this is what I'm seeing, coach. If you can now go to, yes, something like that. We have established that the market perhaps is on a selling, yes. So now this is now beautiful. This is now so beautiful. You can look at that. So that we now see clearly now the power of the EMAs. You see now the market, there was some congestion there before the market broke to go below the 200. And from where we are seeing, if you can open those candles a little bit bigger, yes, coach, yes, make it just a little bit bigger. That area of interest where we are now, you can see that strong bearish candle there, and you can see those retracements that are bullish, but still failing to break above the 200 M. So this one is if you are entering, you can just maybe perhaps the market I hope the market will just from there, it will start to drop, or it might hit a little bit going up. But definitely, I want to believe that we are going to have a beautiful sell on the USD, but on gold. But mind you, remember, we are on the first leg of the W. So which means the market, we are still on it can do anything. Even after giving you these wonderful cues and beautiful confirmations, it can still do anything, because we are still on the peak on a higher time frame. One candle can destroy and shatter all these things. But all things being equal, if it gives you a good thing, there's a possibility of a sell on gold. That's what I have, coach.
That's
over to you.
That's a very good explanation. Yeah, thank you very much for that. That's a very good explanation. So, picking up from this, if you go to the D1 time frame, you can tell how price has been moving all the way up until it came to this point. Yes, like you said, we are at the first level. So if we want to take it into context, we will realize that this is the most confirmed law. So the
Yes.
last confirmed law,
Yes.
meaning this is the law that took out the high. All right.
Yes.
So then that means this law right here did not take
Yes.
out any high. So it's not a confirmed law, but it
Yes.
is still a law. So we'll still take it as a law. So
Yes.
based on this, you might wanna sell from here and go down back to the low based on that,
Mhm.
but knowing we are reacting to that area and also knowing that it's not a confirmed low. So you would wanna see price go there. But then, like you said, because this is still not broken, so the market remains bullish, but at the moment we are forming a peak, so we want to see bearish moves. So we
Yes.
are likely going to see maybe the market push to there and then push back up and then form another leg and then push down. Or you might see the market push all the way down to here and then push
Yeah,
back,
that's what.
yeah, and then push
Yeah.
back up and then
Yes.
form another second leg. So that's gonna take a long time. So the best way would be, like you said, go to lower time frames, trade what we can see on the lower time frames, but also
Mm.
paying attention that yes, the market might pull back anytime soon. So that means on the lower time frames, all we are doing is looking for short targets. For example, at this point right
Yes.
here, if you do take a sell, your target is supposed to be right here. That's your target. Once price gets there, you are out. Don't
Yes.
start being over ambitious looking for anything lower than that. You will not get it. So target
Uh,
target these lows, get out. If price does pull back, give you another setup, then you can target the low price. So that's how you have to treat this one because forming a peak takes a while, especially if it's a high time frame peak. It will definitely take a long time because you can see how on the weekly time frame nothing has happened yet. It's just
mm.
it's just candles forming in the same area right there. No, you can't really
Yeah.
say anything is happening here. Nothing has happened. We are still yet
True
to
that.
yeah, we're still yet to see us push all the way down to maybe this low and then pull all the way back to the high or even higher than the first leg and then push back
Mm.
all the way down. So it takes a while. In fact, not just a while, it might even take a year for you to see that happen. It might
I,
even happen
I
in
would want to
December,
believe.
you know?
I would want to believe if God sets a
hmm
high there, that's going
hmm
to be the high of the year,
Yeah.
and
And
because God has ride up for a very long time.
yeah, and the good thing is, this could be the high of the year where we are now. It most probably could
Mm.
be the high of the year, and you find maybe the
Yeah.
second leg doesn't even get there, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the push going down, you might find maybe it's a little bit, hesitant, very small moves all the way down,
Yeah.
and the push up will be very aggressive just to
Yes.
scare people, grab some buy orders, make people think, yep, we are going to break that level and go up. And then all of a sudden, price then runs away with money. So all those things can happen, guys. So yeah, we need to keep an eye on that. What's the time? All right, 8:27. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. But
Coach,
mm-hmm.
Please, can you take it to 1 hour?
1 hour.
Yeah. Coach, don't let us. I just want to say maybe we shouldn't blind our eyes to this particular movement here. Looking if we count these levels here, can we call this one to be 1 and this to be 2 and this to be 3, right? So now, if you look at it, this market is sitting right on 800 moving average. And we all know that 800 moving average is either a peak formation or a reset if 200 does not play out, like it didn't play out here. And if you look at it, they gave us just a true throwdown, which I will look at it as a possibly they are looking for a way to trap people as a reset for a buy. What I'm looking at here is that I'm looking at they want to buy, and this is the low that they have created for the week for that particular. So new months, they might just come to this place and continue. They might not come here. So it's either two-way. So me, I'm looking at a buy for this gold to play out massively. So that is what I just want to, so that we can have two buyers in the mind, in our mind. So thank you.
No. You're 100% correct. Like he said that a candle might come here and reverse all this, even if we are seeing this. Because remember, on the higher time frames, like I said, we are still bullish. We're not bearish, but we are forming a bearish move. So what it means is that if you are going to target the low and it doesn't get there and it pushes up, then that means you're definitely going to be stopped out, whether at entry or at your stop loss, whichever it
Break
is.
even.
Yes. But yes, if you look at all the time frames, we are only seeing bullish moves, both D1, especially D1, because D1, I would have expected maybe W1 to be like this, but it's D1 instead. It's showing us that it's a bullish move. We haven't broken the last confirmed low. If you come to the 4 hour, the last low on the 4 hour was definitely broken, which makes me think that yes, the sell will come, but only to that low. I don't know what's going to happen after that, because D1 will then give us the bias. So expect us that we are not going to go that far. And again, it's the start of the new month. So what are you going to expect? You're going to expect a false move, month beginning, and then most probably a push up, or the other way around. So it's a little bit tricky to know now what exactly is gonna come out. So I would say this one, trade it carefully if you wanna, if it's your favorite pair, trade it very carefully. And I'm not saying wait for it until it forms a first leg on H4. The only best thing you can rely on at this point is most probably levels, just counting your levels and flowing with your levels and saying, okay, I've seen a peak formation and I've seen level 1. Can I then trade this, assuming price might go up to level 2? You get the point? So that's how you'll be judging it, saying, okay, I've seen level 1. Can I trade this going back into level 2? And then if it does play out the way you had wanted it to, then you can say, all right, can I enter it again up to level 3? If it stops you out, that's it. It has already stopped you out. So just be careful with this one. It can be
That is why
bullish.
I do can go so on this particular one that you are asking me that why didn't I call? If you go to 4 hours, go to 4 hours.
Yep,
Push.
4 hours.
On 4 hours, can you help us to squeeze it so that you squeeze it very well, or reset, just reset your, just bring, I want to, the reason why I definitely ran away from this trade is this. I can see this particular one on 4 hours. I hope we are not taking the people that want to analyze AUD USD. We are very
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
So I can
Oh,
see this
there are
one
charts. I
as,
didn't see the charts. Sorry.
yeah, I can see movement number one here. This is one. And I can see this one as two. So I think that they came for three to drop it further. So that was the reason why I ran away. That these people, they are not showing us clearly what, if I want to count in, this is my one, this is my two, and this is three that I'm thinking they want to bring. And on 1 hour, they are telling us that they want to reset. So that was the reason why I didn't even bother to bring it up on gold. So
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
Nah, it makes
So,
sense. It makes sense. All right. Someone said US that. All right, let's look at this pair. To be honest, I don't really trade these pairs. But I think this is, I don't know if this is very clear or not, but I see two things here. Number one, price might be buying up to there before the sell, or price will start selling from where it is now. It's not really clear, but I would have expected this green candle to be at least up high here to show that it was the one that broke this low. But then again, you can tell that this low had nothing to do with anything there, but this one did have something. So you can tell how we broke the high right there because of that low, pushed up, broke the high, came back down, pushed back there, matched the high, and pushed down and break the low. So I'm expecting us to go up there and then push down. Let's see what D1 says. Yeah, so you can see clearly now on D1 how it's coming out. But like I said, that area where, all right, let's go back to W1. This candle that I was talking about, that one day, I said it might sell wherever it is now, all right? Or it might go high up there. So if you come to D1, it becomes more clearer. Reason being, this move right here is what broke this low right there. All right. But this low was broken by this move. Okay. And then this low was broken by this move. So ideally, both of these areas might be areas where you're looking for some interest. So I would say if we go lower to lower time frames, all we're looking for is a peak formation at some point. Now, this is 4 hour, and I can already see 4 hour has done something here. Right, 4 hour has already done something. Push up, push back down, clear that low, and then push back up, and then start to sell. All right, let's go to H1 and see what H1 is doing. All right, H1. Yeah, that's a long one. That's a long one. That's a long one. You know, I am inclined into thinking that your pair might have just started selling now. Current market price. Current market price. I would say we look to sell this following week. I would have loved to see them go all the way up to there, but it looks to me this pair is already started selling, and this is an M formation. So if we do sell, I would love to see us push all the way down up to first up to at least this low, and then secondly up to that low there. But I would love to see us sell. Now, good thing if you look at SP 500 and also Nasdaq, they do show you a similar thing. I'm already seeing something about SP 500. You see when you look at US 30, how this leg is lower than that, but if you go to SP 500, this leg is high. This leg is higher than this one. So that on its own gives you a confirmation that the trade that will move the most is SP 500. Yes, they will both move, but the one that will move the most is SP 500. And it's also giving you a confirmation that we are selling because SP 500 has a better setup than US 30. So you can see how that green, that blue candle, green candle, on S30, I was expecting it to be high up there before the break, or it's not, but on the US 500, it actually is before the break. So you can tell how price took out this area, this high, formed a new high, making this low a confirmed low and making this area being responsible for the break. If we go to 4 hour, we will see there will be a low and a high there and then a low. So making this area the area responsible for a break. So we knew that if price broke here, it was supposed to come back to that area. So if we go to H4, right where there's that candle, you can see how you have a low, a high, and then a low again before the break. So that means that area is exactly where you would have expected it. Now let's see if Nasdaq has got the similar setup. So you look at Nasdaq.
Yeah, sorry, coach. Yeah, sorry, coach. Yeah, before you go to Nasdaq, you're already on Nasdaq. I wanted to us to count levels on US 500. Maybe on H4. Let's go to H4.
Oh, okay, H4.
Let's go to H4. So yeah, can you bring the left side a little bit more?
All right.
Yeah, this other side. Yes, that one. So we can clearly see the peak. There's a peak there. There's a peak above. You can clearly see that there's a peak there. Then there's a push to level 1. Then on that he hit the 800 EMA. Then we had the second push there. That then went to around the S&P 500 there, which is the second. Then we have this major drop, which was the level 3. Then now counting now to back to where you are, I want to confirm that part that we are looking at is a peak reset. That's a peak reset. Yes. So we have this peak now. We can count from the shorter leg of this big drop. We can count the first level up. Then we can count the second level to get there. From this one, we will not count the 1350 cross as the first level. We'll count the 5200 cross. Then we count the 5800 cross for the second level. Then we have that peak. So before we change anything, we can now clearly see that there is some movement there. If we were doing that one that we stretch, pull, and then they pull back, the stretch and then the pull back, you can discover that that first drop of the second leg, it shattered the last of the possibly we can say H1. It broke all the noise of the peak formation on H1 was broken by that drop of the first leg. then we can clearly see that the second leg handed above the first leg.
The first leg, yes.
Yes, by mere looking at, so that we can say that was a grab of
Of some
orders that
stops,
were
orders, yeah, above here.
in some.
Yeah, right
Yes, and
there,
you can
above
clearly
here.
see, even again on that second leg, bearish presence at the peak formation, which is Andre,
Right there.
which is key. You can see that doji, then that pin bar, and that
Mm-hmm.
third candle, which was very strong momentum to go to the other side,
Mm-hmm.
to the downside. So
Mm-hmm.
this is going up. So this one is it's a peak on H4,
Mm-hmm.
which is a peak on H on this side and a peak on this other side. So if we
Yes.
go now to H1, we can
Mm-hmm.
see, we want to clearly identify this peak of because from the
So
first leg we can clearly
you've
see
got a peak,
a, a
a
good peak.
drop, another peak,
Yes,
and then
yes.
up and another peak. Yes.
Now I want to see the second leg of that.
Second leg of
That
that.
is that.
Yes, yes, yes,
That's the
yes, 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 yes,
yes.
yes. We want
That
to
can be
see
the
us
first.
do that and then do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Eh, why?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense that it's beginning of the week, so the market
Mm-hmm.
will
Mm-hmm.
possibly go
And
up
beginning
to
of
give us the
month.
second leg,
Yes.
and beginning of month again,
Mm-hmm.
because this is an H4 peak. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, and the leg might even push it to try to even to be closer to that top there, where there's that bearish
Is
uh,
especially on US 30. I'm a bit concerned because that area is close. So there might be a possibility we might reach to it because
and then drop.
it's very, very close. I'm not seeing that same area on SP 500, but because US 30 it's there, then it means most definitely we're likely to see the same thing on SP 500 too. So yeah, that is a
Yeah.
very good pickup. So we might see them come to above somewhere here to this high somewhere there. And the same
Yeah.
with Nasdaq as well. Well, Nasdaq, the good thing about Nasdaq is that it showed like a good clear of that above that. So like they really
Yes.
moved fairly high above, targeting this area here.
Yeah.
Um Now, if we go to D1, why did they go all the way there? Now, this one is the example that I gave you. Remember when we started and I said, if price forms an M, breaks the M, and then goes all the way down, price will then come and reach out for the second leg back again before it goes down, because there is nothing here that shows that it was the resultant move to break that low. So there is nothing here that you can see. If you remember where I said an M like this, and then price will reach out for the second leg, whereas the other one, you have an M like that, and price will do that. Price will reach out for that area instead of reaching out for the second leg. So that's a similar idea. We aggressively went all the way down, and now we are pulling back to reach out for the second leg. And we are not even far off to match the leg right there, which in this case, when you are looking at it from W1, we've already reached that area on W1. So I will tell you that for this month, this coming month, there are high chances that these three pairs are going to be selling from this coming month. But because we are starting the month, you probably just want to have them move the direction they want to move, create the high of the week. And most probably that high of the week is likely to become the high of the month. And then we can have them push all the way down. So let's go to the monthly time frame and see how we're looking. Yeah. So you can see how the monthly time frame is like. That's a very aggressive candle right there. So the monthly time frame, just by it being like this, we have more chances of us pushing up first, all right, before we push down. So that means we will be bullish for a while, create the high, either high of the week, high of the month, or high of whatever, and then push all the way down. So that means when we come back to H1, we are then expecting to see us buy for a while before we go down. How long we're gonna buy will depend on where we want to go. Now, another way for you to maybe kind of tell how far the buy will be, maybe we start looking at the 3 pushes to the upside. Here we already have them. So that means maybe we'll be looking into matching the high before we can go down. So let's see what will happen. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking will happen. All right. One last one. USD. I need to go and prepare for church. But let's go to USD. But then USD is gonna be a simple one because remember I said what other GBP pay, what other USD pairs are doing is exactly what AutoUSD will do. Now, I want you to, think for a second. You can see how AutoUSD has been moving. All right. Now, this is one of the things that make people get caught into the wrong side of the market. So you can see how AutoUSD is moving. Yes, it is bullish because it's pushing up, but it's not breaking any levels. All right. So in this regard, even if it is a pair that you love trading, right? My advice is always leave it for now. Look for any other pair that you want to trade until we can see clear moves from this. Because honestly, you can see how they aggressively pushed up here. And then since 15th of April, this is all that we have. We are not breaking any highs, not breaking any lows. We're just moving up and down. And God knows how long this is going to take. It becomes so much easier for you to get caught. And I'm telling you, so many people have been hit by this just by the market moving up and down like this. So every time you see a market consolidate like that, just let it go, leave it. One of the pairs that's always a culprit in doing that is
I
Euro.
stopped trading that one after
Yes.
I got tired of being trapped.
Euro GBP.
That
How
one
did I
is always tricky.
see? How did I see this setup and not trade it? That's not good. I saw this setup this week and I never traded it, and I wanted it to 10 here.
I don't know why I
Interesting.
hate this PL.
So if you look at this
You hate
pair,
it too. That makes two of us.
if
That
you
pair
look
does
at
not
this
behave.
pair, every time it moves, and then stops. Now I'm on D1 time frame. So you see it will move and then consolidate. Move and consolidate. Move and consolidate. That's what it does every time. So when you want to trade it, you are better off trading it when it's moving. But when it's consolidating, uh, it's good to stay away because you're definitely gonna be hit, and that's not good. So here for me, I expected it this week to sell up to this area, and then after that to buy from there. Well, I had analyzed this very well. I even counted my levels, and I saw that we were missing one level, etc., etc. I don't know how I missed this trade, but the whole idea behind it, it was actually a good trade. So the whole idea behind it was that we had a W formation, and then we aggressively moved all the way up to there, hit the target, and then what did we do? We started pushing back down slowly. You can see the momentum going down is very small. Now I'm expecting that the momentum going up is going to be aggressive again. So you can see every time we're pushing up, the momentum is aggressive. So I would say, yeah, if you wanna buy this one, maybe you can buy it and then put a tight stop loss because it does consolidate. But this is a very good trade. So I expected it to turn around from there. And if I had entered aggressively there, this was gonna be one of the best entries, I think, because it came exactly where I expected it to come to. And this was based off, I think, the 4-hour time frame, if not the D1. Yeah, if it's, I think it's the 4-hour or the D1. Let's just see. Yeah, it's the 4-hour. I had actually marked it off from the 4-hour, but that's what I anticipated. That start of the week, I want to see it sell, and then we'll see a midweek reversal of a buy from there. So again, guys, we're wrapping things up, but one thing that I look at areas where price was rejected before on the higher time frames, and these are sort of the areas where I want to see price react to. So every time I see price coming back to where it was rejected, for me, I see a possible area where we might have price giving us a setup. So those are one of the things that you should look at. You can see what Euro NZD is doing there. So those are some of the things that I do look at. Sorry, we didn't look at EuroCard because we're running out of time, but that's another one that we were looking at this week, though this one decided to go a little bit higher than that before it went down. So it took out people's money and then it went down. But thank you very much, guys, for showing up. I'm very sorry that today I was a bit late.